My wife and I, along with our 2 kids, had always dreamed of a house in the countryside. When we finally found the asterisk house, we felt like it was a stroke of luck. It was an old house with a spacious garden surrounded by forest. The house looked solid and cozy, though it needed a bit of renovation. Despite its age, it had a certain charm. We moved in with excitement and started settling down. But soon, strange things started happening. Things that none of us expected. At first, it was minor stuff. Doors we left open would suddenly be closed. Lights would flicker, even though the wiring had been checked before we bought the place. My wife and I brushed it off as fatigue after moving in, or just quirks of an old house. But the oddities didn't stop. They only got worse. One night, I woke up with the strange feeling that someone else was in the room. I listened carefully, but all I heard was a faint rustling, as if someone was barely breathing nearby. I looked over at my sleeping wife and decided it was just my imagination playing tricks on me due to exhaustion. But the next day, my oldest daughter said she'd heard whispering outside her door that night. I tried to reassure her, saying it was probably the wind or sounds from the forest, but she insisted that the voice was saying her name. We noticed that the kids started looking more and more scared. They refused to sleep in their rooms, insisting on staying with us at night. Our son told me he had seen a shadow in the hallway moving toward his bedroom, and I saw for myself how he would wake up in a cold sweat at night. The more this happened, the stronger my feeling grew that something was wrong with that house. The last straw was when we returned home one evening after spending the day in town. As soon as I opened the door, I was hit with the smell of something burning. But there was no fire, no smoke, just this unbearable smell that made our eyes water. The next day, the kids found toys in the garden that my wife and I hadn't even bought. It felt like the house was somehow trying to scare us off or force us out. After that, my wife and I had a long talk and decided not to wait for something worse to happen. We packed our things and started looking for a new place, listing the old house for sale. Thankfully, a buyer came along quickly, and we didn't hesitate to accept their offer. After moving to a new town, we could finally breathe easy. Here in our new home, everything was calm and peaceful, and the kids were smiling again, sleeping soundly through the night. To this day, I remember that house with a slight chill down my spine. Maybe it was just our nerves, or our imaginations running wild, or the old house's atmosphere. But I'm glad we left, leaving that strange story behind us.